Chapter 1. Let's begin. Any practice, you just have to begin. You're never ready to start practicing anything. It's never the right time. You just start. You just start. And you let that practice show benefit in your life. And you let it show benefit. And if you're ready to do it, and it's a good time for you in the practice and you are to match, then, it's a good fit and it works. So the first thing I want you to start thinking about as we go through chapter 1 is really, let's start looking at, now that we've gone through the whole introduction to your relationship with life, what it is, what it isn't, what it could be, what might not be so helpful. What is life teaching me, all of us? You have to start the practice of life by looking at, what am I being taught? What is it teaching me? What am I supposed to learn from this moment? How is this moment supposed to change me? How is this moment supposed to enlighten me? What do I need to come to peace with? That's what I'm saying every moment I'm with. And when you're in that space with life, you're undergoing constant change and expansion. Because when you really open yourself to life teaching you something and making you aware, or just putting you through an experience that you don't even really know why it's happening, but you know there's a purpose in it, wow. Wow. Why is it happening the way it is, when it is, how it is? Valid answer can be many times. I don't know. That's my answer a lot of the time. I don't see anything wrong with asking the questions because we're curious. We're students. We want to just interact with this amazing teacher. But a lot of times the answer, nothing comes to you. Nothing. You just don't know. And a lot of times that is just because, one, it's not God's will that you know at that moment. Or two, you're just not conscious enough to understand even if you were given the answer. And that's the one your ego doesn't want to hear. But that's the truth. A lot of times the reason God doesn't tell you things is because you're not even ready to understand. And if you did get the answer, it would cause such a change and expansion in your reality and the way you saw things. It would move you through like 50 conscious incarnations in like 10 seconds. And I know it sounds exciting, okay? But I've seen a lot of you go through just the amount of conscious incarnations that God's wanted you to go through with me, and it ain't pretty. No one needs to be in a hurry here. Why don't we need to be in a hurry? Because life is eternal. Chill out. Chill out. It'll go fast enough when you get out of the way. Trust me. Trust me. It'll speed up, and it'll speed up when you're not attached to time and space, and then it's wonderful when it speeds up. But when it speeds up and you have attachments, it gets into more of a reactive pattern, and it's just not comfortable. Trust me, I'm a student of this. I've done it both ways. I don't want you to do it the way that I had to learn on comfort. I want you just to try and do it the way that lets you chill out and stay practiced and focused and let it unfold. Okay, as well, seeing life as something that loves us sets up an appropriate context for enlightenment and learning. This is so fundamental, and I know I've said it in a few different ways today, but I want to go over it one more time. It's such a big part of chapter 1. You are spending time with something that loves you. You are spending time with something that it is its will, it is life's will to enlighten you. It is life's job to enlighten you. When you have a relationship with it that way, you're much more apt to learn. When you're having a relationship with something you see as beating you or hurting you or stealing from you or taking from you, how open are you really ready to sit in class and be willing to be taught by something you think is ruining you or hurting you or stealing from you or making you sick? The context of the relationship means everything. It means everything. Puts the individual in the proper context, facilitating, letting the guard down, letting go of that reactive pattern, and letting you be open to seeing it a different way. When you're fighting for your life, fighting against life, you're not going to be as open to enlightenment as when you're loving life and letting it enlighten you. It doesn't take a rocket science. I'm not that smart, but it's common sense, isn't it? We've all been in relationships with people where it wasn't a happy relationship, okay? And it was maybe abusive or tough or a lot of anxiety. How comfortable was that experience? It was uncomfortable. And you may have learned something, don't get me wrong, through stress adaptation, but you're more open. We're not about just learning as a part of the practice. We're about being enlightened, which means being given enlightenment, being shown things that are beyond our comprehension as a gift. Here, Look at it this way. Wow, I would have never learned that. Thank you. I'm here now. That's what's really cool. I'm taught things every day by just being enlightened of them. I don't have to go through the experience. Things just come into me, and I'm like, holy cow, that's true. And I'll tell you one at the end. Don't let me forget. That'll really put you all on your heads when you're walking out. And it's just so simple. I've been melting away since it came to me about a week ago. A context of fear and survival is not the best environment in which to learn and grow. Highly restrictive in nature, full of tension and resistance, by nature highly dependent on survival mechanisms and evolution adaptation, reaction adaptation. What practice allows us the best opportunity to live fully? Practice that teaches us the truth about life, the fundamentals about the state of our existence. I don't think practices that tell us stories really help us that much. I think what all of us at this level really want to know is just what's the truth. You're nothing in a field of complete immensity. That might not be what you really want to hear, but that's the truth. I just want to know the truth so I can go, okay, I'm really freaked out by that. All right, I'm less freaked out. Okay, I'm not freaked out. All right, so I'm nothing and nothing. Great. Just let me get to the place where it doesn't keep being pulled out from underneath me. Whatever I got to get to that place, I'm open for it. I just want to get there so I can say, okay, this isn't going any lower. I'm nothing. And I'm a part of everything at the same time, of course. I'm not in any way trying to show that anything that God or life creates is insignificant in and of itself. It's all a miracle. And I'm sure the little quark or atom in us is going, I'm nothing in a field of nothing. There's nothing around me. Where is God?